Hello, 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 hello. One more hello. Mwah. Good afternoon, my peeps. How are you today? My God, what a day it has been. What a week, a matter of fact. And today is Thursday. The week is almost over. One more day to go in this week. And I'm telling you, it's never a dull moment. So much has been happening all around the world. Oh my God. Wow. If you're not strong, guys, I know if you don't have faith, if you don't have a connection with, the one who created us, it can get overwhelming, and I understand. Believe me, I understand why some people get depressed and why, they lose their minds and all manner of things. Because if you're not careful, if you're not strong, really, it can happen to you quite easily. It can happen to anyone. That's why I'm always very sympathetic and empathetic with persons, who have mental challenges or persons who get depressed or get suicidal, etc. Because I am telling you guys, if you are not connected to the source, it can happen to you too, huh? Welcome, 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 welcome to Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. It is Thursday, July 2nd, 2020, and a very, very special welcome to you. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon to watch this program. Guys, share the link with your friends right now. Hit that share button and share the link with all your friends and family and invite them to come and watch the program. And remember to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell beside it so that if anything happens, if the feed should fall, remember guys, if the feed fall, I cannot send you back a link. So if you're not plugged in, right? So can I get being plugged in? We have to be plugged in, guys. So if you're not plugged in to the channel on YouTube, you will not be able to see when I am back live. Huh? Absolutely. And so, guys, I have lots of information to give to you. As usual, you know that as a student of knowledge, I am here to share knowledge with you, my fellow students of knowledge, right? Because knowledge is nothing if kept to oneself. I got to share it with you. Knowledge must be shared. It must be applied. Absolutely. And so I have information to give you so that you can make informed decisions. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, guys, do not forget, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So you can go over there when the program is finished, okay? And go like, comment, and share. Remember, if you comment while I am live, I can respond in real time because I'm streaming live on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So you know the drill by now. If it's your first time, by the way, a very special welcome to you. What I do, I give you the news and then I give you my 2 cents on it. Yeah. Yeah, people who know me, they know I'm very opinionated. Oh my God, guys, I must tell you, my dad is so worried for me. My father he's overseas, and he calls me, and he watches the program. But today, he's gone. He has a doctor's appointment, so he's not watching right now. But he will watch the replay later. But every day he watches the program, and then he calls me, and he's like, "Oh my God," he is so worried. He's like, "You gotta stop! You gotta stop! They're gonna kill you! They're gonna kill you!" I'm telling you, I said, Dad, let me tell you something. If he who fears for his life will lose it, you understand? I don't care for dying. People who are afraid of dying are people who don't know where they're going, or you understand, or who don't understand how death works. But someone like me who totally understands that death is just a transition from this life to the next, I don't fear dying. I welcome it as a matter of fact. Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, I will have some things to accomplish, so I would not want to die yet. And I know my father is not going to allow me to die yet because he has work for me to do, and I must accomplish what he has me to do before anyone can kill me. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. We are all here, guys, for a purpose, with a purpose. And we got to know our purposes. Yeah, absolutely. And once you know your purpose, you got to complete your purpose before you leave this earth. Yeah, man. And so I am not even worrying about it. I tell you my opinion and you take it or you leave it. As far as I am concerned, I give it to you as though I get it from my father who inspires me. You understand? And so whenever I say anything to you guys, it is based on my intellect, based on what I have read, what I've listened to, what I have watched, what common sense tells me, and what I'm inspired to say based on the leading of the spirit of knowledge. Absolutely. Yeah. So I would like to think it is informed, right? But of course, I tell you all the time, guys, not because I say it, you take it, yes, listen, but you also verify. You must always verify the information you get, guys. Absolutely. And it goes for anyone at all. Anyone at all gives you information. Don't just swallow it like that. Absolutely. Take it with a grain of salt and look into it, right? Investigate it. Make sure it is accurate information because there's just too much fake news out there, yeah? Too much fake news out there, man. So much misinformation and lack of information, no information. I heard Denzel Washington said once that misinformation is better than no information at all. And I got to agree with him. It might sound weird, but at least you have some of the information, right? So there's a lie told, but there's a grain of truth in it. Yeah. So at least you have some information when you have misinformation, as opposed to no information at all. So my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So you got to have some information, man. Yeah. And that's what I'm here to do, guys. Give you some. So of course, without further ado, I'm going to go straight into um, the news to give you information as it is given to me or as I sourced it. Yeah. So Jamaica now has 707 confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease COVID-19, according to a press release issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The 5 new cases are 4 males and 1 female who all arrived on flights from guess where? You guessed it, the US of A. United States of America, hotspot, with ages ranging from 31 to 56 years. 2 have addresses in Kingston and St. Andrew. 1 has an address in St. Catherine, and the other 2 are accommodations in St. James. They are visitors, guys, visitors to the island with who are staying in St. James. Excuse me, sorry. Of course, this now brings to 192, almost 200 now, guys. This now brings to 192 the total number of imported cases of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, over the past 24 hours, which is basically not this 24 hours, but 48 hours ago, because we get the news every 24 hours, and this is as of 5 p.m. yesterday. Right, so as of 5 p.m. today, I will have something else for you tomorrow when I meet you on Friday. Yeah, God willing. So yes, 48-hour period ago that they did 450 samples, guys, and it's out of that 450 samples that they got those 5 confirmed cases positive COVID-19. Right. They now have, as a result of that testing, 64 that are pending, 64 samples pending. Total samples today, guys, 24,951. I know my big data people, they love the big data, so I have to give it to you, right? So total samples, 24,951 to date, with 24,180 negatives. And as I said, now we're up to 707 positive cases. In the meantime, we had 2 more persons recovering. So now our recovery has gone up to 555. 555 persons, guys, have recovered out of the 707. So you see, it's not a death notice. We've only had 10 deaths to date. Yeah. Of course, there are 42 persons in government quarantine, 13 persons hospitalized, with 1 person moderately ill. No one critically ill, but there's 1 person moderately ill. We'll pray for that person that the person does not deteriorate, get worse, and become critically ill, but will instead recover and be released to join the number of recoveries, right? Absolutely. We have 120 in isolation. Other numbers stay the same. 39 local transmission, 236 who are connected to the workplace cluster. Alorito, by now, right? I have a lisp. Sometimes my lisp, my tongue get tied up. Yeah. And of course, I stutter too. You can imagine, guys, having 2 speech impediment in one. Yeah. But it's all good. Yeah. I don't let those things bother me. Yeah, I know these are some of the things that actually, guys, that some people get self-conscious about and develop inferiority complexes over. Yeah, thank God for the personality God has given me, where those things don't bother me at all. But I know it affects some people. Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying to you, so now, yes, 236 Alarico, 7 under investigation, and as of 5 p.m. yesterday, we have 4,613 persons, guys, who are in home quarantine. That means they are geofenced and or bracelet. So I have a friend actually who came down, yeah, and he went on to Facebook to talk about his experience. So I asked him about being geofenced. Yeah, it says, it is what it is, it is what it is. You gotta comply. The guy, says, you gotta comply. So he's on the 14-day quarantine at the moment. Welcome back to Jamaica. You know yourself. I'm not gonna call your name. Hey, thank you for my thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, Saloni. I know when you come on. I know when you come on. Yeah, thank you. Oh, and my cousin Dora. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Good to see you again, cuz. Yeah, all the way from New York. Mwah. Big up New York in the house. Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, and I know Dora is sharing the link with all our friends over there. Oh man, awesome. That's why I tell you guys, I know I'm not getting the right algorithm from YouTube because I know the persons who are tuning in and YouTube is telling me like they would say 2 persons watching. And I know it's so much more than 2 persons watching at any point in time. You understand? So I just don't get them. I just don't understand. But I am thankful and grateful, not complaining. All right. I'm thanking God that at least I am on. Yes, thank you for my thumbs up. Keep those thumbs up coming. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. Love you. Love you. Thank you. Absolutely. And so, yes, as I was saying to you now, guys, I just gave you the big data concerning COVID-19, where we are right now in Jamaica. So to continue with the news, a little sadness here. An Ananda alert has been activated for 14-year-old Britania Smith of Rockborough Avenue, Kingston, who has been missing since Monday, June 22nd. She is of dark complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. That's approximately 170 centimeters, yeah? Reports from the Rockport police are that about 1 p.m., Smith was seen at her home, or she was last seen at her home, and she was wearing at that time a white blouse, black jeans, and a pair of black slippers. No one has seen her since, guys. No one saw when she left. No one saw anyone take her. That's what all the people remember. Is that approximately 1 o'clock, they saw her dressed in that manner, and that was on Monday, that's the 22nd, last week, Monday, the 22nd. Okay. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Britannia Smith is asked to contact the Rockford Police at 876-922-2941. 876-922-2941. You can also call the police emergency number, which is 119. You can also call Crime Stop 311 or just visit the nearest police station to you to make that report. Okay? Meanwhile, yeah, there's not much more I can say about that story, guys. You know how I feel about that already, right? And if you don't know, just go back into my library and watch my previous episodes about the Ananda alerts, right? Okay, continuing. I'm just really, 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 really wish. I must say something. Okay, I had to tweet. To Jamaica Observer today because this is an Ananda alert, guys, and it is not trending. It is not trending on Jamaica Twitter. It is not trending, and I am like, there are so many things that are trending, and something like this is not trending. I just had to tweet about it. I'm like, seriously, this is the missing children have become the new norm where people and an alert is not trending. Meanwhile, a 5-year-old child was killed and 3 other persons injured in Montego Bay on Wednesday afternoon when an out-of-control car crashed into a group of National Solid Waste Management Authority employees, that's NSWMA, along Claude Clark Avenue, where they were carrying out street cleaning exercises. You know those people, guys, who are always on the street side there cleaning, work with NSWMA. The dead child has been identified as Shanika Tanika MacDonald, who resides at Eunice Street in Flankers. Two sisters, Gillette and Sonia Gillette, and their niece, Ishi Gillette, who are all NSWA employees, were seriously injured in the incident. They were all admitted to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH. I don't have much faith in the hospital, I'm telling you, Lord help them in there. According to reports shortly after 3 p.m., the driver of a motor car was traveling along Claude Avenue when he allegedly lost control and plowed into the NSWMA employees and the child who was standing on the roadside. The driver of the ill-fated vehicle also sustained injuries and was hospitalized. The child's mother, Tanisha McLaren, who is also a member of the NSWMA team, but had left her daughter at the location with her co-workers as she went off to a nearby shop, was overcome with grief when the cleaner spoke with her. Quote, "Up to now, me can't believe that Shani really dead. Me just left her with them for a while," the mother muttered. And sincere condolences to Tanisha McLaren and other families and friends of this 5-year-old child who has been identified as Shanika Tanika MacDonald, and to the father, of course, Mr. MacDonald. We pray that her soul rest in peace. Yeah, that is what they call a freak accident, guys. Wow. Imagine, you leave your house with your child, and she probably went to the shop to buy maybe some juice for the child to, or something like that, something for the child to eat, and to come back, and it's what you come back to. That really is heart-rending, isn't it? Yeah. And a 24-year-old. Oh, and before I move on, one more comment I must make about that. I'm going to do an expose. I'm not sure exactly when. Maybe next week. No, maybe. Definitely next week. One day next week. Not sure. But I got to do. Guys, the amount of fatalities we have as a result of road accidents right now? It's a lot, It's a lot. It's almost 40 in St. Catherine alone. A whole lot. We got to do better on the roads, guys. We got to do better on the roads. Well, he lost control of the vehicle. Of course, he was speeding. That's not an assumption. It's not an assumption, right? You're driving and lose control of the vehicle. You don't lose control of the vehicle driving slow. Yeah? Gotta be careful on the road, guys. Gotta be careful on the roads. Not a loss of life, and then we don't even know this person was hospitalized if they will live, so there might be more deaths. We don't know. We just have to pray, keep them in our prayers. Continue with the news, guys. So a 24-year-old bus driver is dead while a policeman is nursing chop wounds following an altercation between the two in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, yesterday Wednesday. One of the cop's hands was partially severed, confirmed Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, who is in charge of the police corporate communication unit. Relatives identified the deceased bus driver as Alex Needham of Health and Park, Spanish Town. It is alleged that Needham was loading a Toyota Coaster bus illegally along Burke Road when the uniformed cop approached and instructed that the bus be moved to the designated area. A disagreement reportedly developed during which the police was allegedly trapped, after which he allegedly fired a shot that hit Needham. Both men were taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where relatives said the bus driver was pronounced dead. The police was admitted. We don't know what condition he is in, because they said his hand was severely severed, but partially severed rather. So that's a lot of loss of blood, right? When you have your hand partially severed, loss of blood. So we don't really know exactly what his condition is at this point in time. Just a 1 cent on this one, because as a person who drives privately and who takes public transportation, I know what happened right here in this particular scenario right here in Jamaica, because I have been I've been witness to a similar situation where I've been in vehicle and police come and inform the driver that he has to move and things like that. And Most often they comply, but every once in a while, passengers, drivers, they get boisterous against the law enforcement officers. Guys, we know there are dirty cops. There's no doubt about that. And that's universal to us. That's not endemic to Jamaica. The reality, though, is without law and order in a country, you have anarchy. Yeah? And you think there's a problem now with murders and domestic violence and sexual abuse and so forth? Imagine if there were no police around. Yeah? Anarchy, guys, anarchy. We need law enforcement officers to enforce the law. And if you're parked in an illegal space and you take a blind, because we like to do that, right? We like to push the envelope. We all do that, yeah? We like to bend the rules a bit. We all do that, right? But if it is that a law enforcement officer comes and say move, why are you arguing with the man? You know, just move. Hmm? What are you arguing for? You are wrong. Guys, I argue, but I argue for my rights. I don't argue. If I am wrong, I'm going to be the first to admit that I am wrong. I am not going to argue because I guess what? JJ, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm going to accept the fact that I'm wrong and I'm going to apologize and move on. Or if I don't apologize at that point in time, because maybe I'm so heated at the moment, because sometimes we do get angry. Nothing's wrong with getting angry, guys. Be angry, but say not. You understand? And don't let the sun go down on your wrath before the day is done. I got to make it right. That's me. I don't carry forward anything into the next day. Sometimes when people come to me about something that occurred before, it takes me a while to pick up and say what is happening, because I just block it out of my mind already because it's another day, it's a new day. And then I'm like, oh my God, you mean yesterday or the day before yesterday? Oh my God, that's past. That's water under the bridge. That's me. You understand? Yeah. So when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong and I move on. If you're parked in an illegal location and a police officer says to you, move, you move. There's no reason to get an altercation with him because you know you're wrong. But you just said, officer, apologize, beg him for a blight, and then you move on. Something like that is what you do. How is it now that a weapon is brandished to chop the officer? So you can imagine the heatedness of that argument, because for you to get so violent, it starts with the verbal abuse, then it goes to physical abuse, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to have gotten so physically worked up that now you went and reached for, a weapon, a tool that became a weapon. Yeah. And now we have a loss of life of a 24-year-old young man. What a waste, guys. What a waste. A 24-year-old young man has just lost his life. For what? For what? This is so senseless, guys. This is so senseless. Why? Come on, guys. We get too ill-tempered, man. We are too ill-tempered. We know the time is hot, but that's no excuse. We got to learn to walk away. Kenny Rogers sing the song, walk away from trouble if you can. Yeah, that's not my pitch, so I can't do that tone. Yeah, but the point is, you got to walk away from trouble if you can. It does not mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. Matter of fact, it means you're strong, because it takes a strong person to get to that place where you can then walk away without retaliating. Yeah. So we do pray and hope that the police officer, who is still alive, recovers, and that he'll be fit for duty in short order. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying, because the streets are so sorry, guys. I'm not saying because I wasn't there. So the police could have been wrong in this tone, in this approach. We're not talking about that. And that's what we need to understand that too. Sometimes we say, oh, but so and so. But guess what? Even if he is wrong, two wrongs don't make a right, So even if he's wrong because of his approach and and how his verb, maybe it might be verbal abuse or whatever, the fact that you were wrong in the first instance, that's the point. You got to walk away. I've already given up your right. You have no right here. So regardless of how he approached you, You just have to take your little lumps and walk away. That's what you do. Yeah. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And meanwhile, guys, continuing, the police have released a composite sketch of the suspect in the June 19th murder of 36-year-old Tamara Geddes, who was shot and killed in Reserve District, Trelawney. Remember that news back in on the 19th of June, guys? The police report that about 8:30 p.m., Geddes was in her bedroom with her daughter when a gunman entered her house and shot her several times after demands for money were not met. Thankfully, the daughter was not harmed. The suspect is being asked to turn himself into the Falmouth Criminal Investigation Branch CIB or any police station immediately. In the meantime, the police are asking anyone with information on his whereabouts to contact the Falmouth CIB at 876-954-3073, Crime Stop at 311, the police emergency number 119, or visit the nearest police station. And the police is reminding citizens that it is a criminal offense to harbor or create a safe haven for criminals. And don't even say, okay, you know you do it. That every criminal has a home. Yeah? Every criminal lives somewhere, whether with parents or spouse, siblings, or children. Yeah. So the police is reminding you that it is a criminal offense to harbor or create a safe haven for criminals. My only 2 cents on this, guys, is that they have issued a composite sketch and telling you to call. Where is this composite sketch? How many people actually read the newspaper? Because this composite sketch is in the newspaper, but how many people actually read it? So where else can people find this composite sketch? Don't you think they should give us more information? Question is the composite sketch in every police station? And not everybody's going to go to a police station unless they have a reason to go to the police station. So nobody really knows who you're looking for. We don't have a name to go with. You understand? So a composite sketch is not really good. And guys, I looked at the composite sketch. And frankly speaking, it doesn't really help, because guess what? The person had mask on. The person had a mask on. Yes, the person was practicing health protocols out there, health measures out there, guys. Yeah, not funny. You get what I'm saying? Just taking bad teeth make laugh. Yeah. So the person that have on the mask, I know when they have on the mask, guys, it's hard to recognize people, right? Okay, all you're seeing is the upper part of their face, and unless you're really familiar with them, you really can't recognize them from that. I've had people pass me, when I have the mask on, and I have to be like, hey, yeah. So that composite sketch doesn't really help. So, I do hope though that, if persons do know otherwise about the incident and have an idea, who this person is, that they would actually come forward, right? So that we can have some closure to this particular case. And of course, again, condolences and prayers to the family and friends of Tamara Geddes. Yeah. Yeah, guys, continue with the news. So, when I get to the front page of the I think I should get to the front page of the Gleaner. Before I get to the next story, let me get to the front page of today's Gleaner, guys. Let me get to the front page of today's Gleaner. So here is the front page of today's Gleaner. Can you see it? Excuse me. See it? Yeah? Okay. Prime Minister, PM, right? Prime Minister stands by his man. Under the headline, it says, scandal plagued Wheatley may get second chance as minister. And then let me show you this, guys. So if you look in the inset of the article, if you look in the inset, you see the inset right there on the front page. Okay, see that? Okay, I'm going to give that one also. So that the cabinet-backed Petrojam appointments, according to Wheatley. He says cabinet-backed Petrojam appointments. And then my story is going to be, yesterday I gave you the story and I told you about Mr. Creary, right? And I am going to give you that story from Mr. Creary, Mr. Richard Creary. Before I give you the Prime Minister's story, let me give you Mr. Creary's. Yeah. So, according to former Petrojam board member Richard Creary, In response to a report by the Integrity Commission on malpractices and corruption at the state-owned oil refinery, quote, my integrity has remained unquestioned and untarnished in both my private and public life. In the IC report, right, it says that Query was part of the panel that interviewed resigned General Manager Floyd Brindley, who had been cited for numerous breaches at that institution. Yeah? But Query, who is also the mayor of Port Maria, said he was not a part of the interview panel. Neither was he appointed to the Petroleum Board to enable corruption. So he has issued a statement, guys, and I'm going to give you the full text of that statement. So here, listen to the statement from the gentleman. You know, there's always three sides to a story. So this is his side. We're going to get his side, right? This is his side. I hear it being carried in various sections of the media that I was a part of a panel that interviewed former General Manager Floyd Brindley for the position and that I was somehow appointed to the board to enable corruption. Let me state categorically that I was not present at the interview and I challenge the commission or anyone else to provide evidence to the contrary. At that time, I had never met Floyd Brindley and I did not meet him until he commenced his employment as general manager at Petroleum. The emphasis is on him, guys. I'm not emphasizing, he's the one emphasizing. I replied to written questions as well as willingly attended an interview at the Integrity Commission, and at no time was I asked if I had interviewed Mr. Brindley. Even though I have not yet had an opportunity to go through the report, I take this opportunity to rubbish another claim in the report that has been carried by sections of the media, which makes reference to the fact that I have known Dr. Andrew Wheatley since 2003 and questioned whether my appointment was to facilitate corruption. I find this assertion as ridiculous as it is offensive and as a damaging speculation that has no base in fact. I do not know of any minister in any People's National Party or Jamaica Labour Party administration who has appointed state boards of persons unknown to them to run the country's affairs. This is also true of the private sector, which often results in persons holding directorships in multiple companies. That statement would be applicable to 99% of everyone who has ever served on a government board spanning decades. It is a most unfortunate conclusion from an agency that has integrity in its name, as it is a baseless statement that strives to impugn my integrity, which has remained unquestioned and untarnished in both my private and public life. I have not seen it reported that I participated in any board action or deliberation that facilitated or enabled any corrupt or criminal act. Let me again make it clear that as a board member, I did not take part in the day-to-day management of Petroleum. Due to the impasse with Venezuela and their board representatives making themselves unavailable, the board did not meet for several months prior to allegations of impropriety being made public, many of which I heard about in the media for the first time. My life has been one of service, firstly to the people of St. Mary through the Kiwanis Club and the St. Mary Chamber of Commerce in my 20s, prior to reluctantly entering politics to serve the people of Richmond, referring to St. Mary, Richmond, St. Mary. Over the years, my service has expanded to include appointments to state boards, and in my entire life, my name has never been linked to corruption in any capacity. I hope this will set the record straight. Well, actually, sir, it does not. It now becomes a he said, she said. And so we'll have to wait for investigations to complete. But we appreciate your side of the story. I hope this set the record straight. I hope this will set the record straight. The report will be corrected to accurately reflect the truth, and that media houses that carry the erroneous and damaging stories will set the record straight. Absolutely. The media houses will set the record straight when the record has been straightened, for sure. Yeah. So now, let me give you, I'm going to give you the little inset part first. Let me give you the little inset part first, yeah. Dr. Wheatley's response. Let me get Dr. Wheatley's response. So, Former Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley has denied that his appointment of several key persons to the scandal-scarred board of the Petrojam oil refinery was tantamount to collusion. Wheatley, who was roundly criticized as dishonest in a voluminous report by the Integrity Commission, suggested that the anti-corruption watchdog was unjustified to equate private association and professional appointment with a bid to orchestrate what is termed corruption-enabling mechanisms. He went further to assert that he was not on a frolic of his own, as all members of cabinet bore collective responsibility for the controversial appointments. So that is implicating cabinet. I knew the members that were assigned to the board of Petrojam and alluded to some sort of collusion. I am unaware of any public board appointed by a minister of government under any administration without the vast majority of its members being known by the minister. Quote, being in a position of trust, I appointed persons who had previously demonstrated the ability to serve, were qualified, and of solid character and reputation. It must be noted that all public boards are subject to the approval of cabinet, end quote. Wheatley said, using capitalization to emphasize the full backing of the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, and his ministers. Wheatley also lambasted the Integrity Commission's characterization of him as damaging, spurious, and belligerent. They are baseless and should be retracted immediately. No, sir, I don't think they should be retracted immediately at all. You, sir, are really being, as the commission stated, disingenuous. Let me get, before I give you the 2 cents though, let me give you the other story now, where the PM stands by his man. Despite adverse findings against Dr. Andrew Wheatley by the Director of Investigation at the Integrity Commission, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hinted that he would not rule out appointing the embattled former Energy Minister in a future cabinet. Asked by Radio Jamaica's Dion Jackson Miller during Wednesday's digital press conference, yesterday they had an emergency press conference to announce Zozo in Greenwich Town, not to address this issue. So, at that press conference, he was asked if he would return Wheatley to a new cabinet after a general election. The Prime Minister suggested that his position on that issue remained unchanged from yesteryear. Quote, my answer then would be an excellent answer for your question today, end quote, said Holness, referencing a similar query asked in 2018 after Wheatley resigned in wake of the then Auditor General's findings into allegations of malpractices at Petrojam. So let me comment as I give you the news, guys, before I don't lose and forget what I want to say. Okay, so if you were watching the press conference and if you were watching the Prime Minister, you would have heard him say before he said that it was a very difficult, very difficult a decision for him to make, according to the Prime Minister. A very, very difficult decision, right? Then he went on to say that his answer that he gave in 2018 was an excellent answer for Dion Jackson Miller's question in 2020. So let me give you the answer that he gave in 2018. He said in 2018, I have paid close attention to public opinion. I'm always a believer in second chances, reforming, and redemption. But at this moment, there are still things to consider before that can happen. On the question, end quote, on the question of Wheatley's candidacy in the next general election, Holness said that there would be no, quote, moves at this time not to have him run as a candidate. So in light of all that he has heard, there is no move at this point to remove him, one, from his post, and also not to have him in his cabinet for the next general election. Quote, MPs are obviously elected by the people, Prime Minister speaking. MPs are obviously elected by the people. I can't remove an MP from his position. There are processes in law for that to occur as it relates to whether or not Dr. Wheatley continues as a candidate. From what I have seen and what I have observed and my own analysis of the situation, I don't think there will be any move at this time not to have him run as a candidate. Now, remember, it was just a few years ago that we were without a Minister of Education because Royal Reid was fired from his position as Minister of Education. It was just last year that he was formally charged by the police. Bear that in mind. Continuing. The embattled former energy minister, who is a holiness loyalist, has been referred to the Director of Corruption Prosecutions in the Integrity Commission in a damning report released on Tuesday. So let me explain that part to you now, how that part goes, guys. So, the Integrity Commission is made up of 3 divisions, right? There are 3 divisions to the Integrity Commission. And remember, I am wondering, they're probably beating themselves up right now for actually passing the Integrity Commission Act of 2017. I'm sure they're beating themselves up on that one. They did not know to come back and bite them. So having passed that act and now the office becoming functional, and right, that it's only this year, because I read that story in May, I think it was the 18th of May, that Mr. Greg Christie was appointed as the director for the Integrity Commission. Yeah, just a little over a month and a half now that he has had this post. Yeah. All right. So anyways, the Integrity Commission has 3 arms to it. You have the investigative division, which is what happened where it was investigated and a formal report was submitted. Then you now have the prevention of corruption division. This is the division now that works with the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecution, right? To prosecute those persons, you understand me? And to bring them before court so that they can be found guilty of a crime, which is what basically has happened to Royal Reid at this point in time, right? And then you have now the third arm of the Integrity Commission, which is the Administration Commission. The Administration Commission, of course, if they are the ones who do the day-to-day administration of the commission. And so, for example, if you have a grievance, you have a complaint, right, or a query, you would make it to the Administration Commission, right? And then they would therefore route your query or your complaint to the relevant division in the commission. Yeah, that's how that works, right? So now, I hope we are on. Guys, I'm here to make sure I keep you informed, so you're on point with what's happening, right? Good. Continue with the news now. So the Director of Investigation said that Wheatley was dishonest in his representations concerning Miss Sophia Dare and whether he sought to mislead and did South Central constituency in which Wheatley is the Member of Parliament. She also sat on several boards within the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology when Wheatley was Minister. I know since then failed. Now, guys, Wheatley says that when he was asked by the commission as to his association with Sophia Dare, they never asked him about his familial relationship with her. Right? So here it is now. This is a sister-in-law, This is a sister-in-law. I mean, people are arguing about whether she is a sister-in-law or not. That's a play semantics here. We're in Jamaica, okay? Jamaican laws recognize common law relationships, so they don't have to be married for her to be his sister-in-law, okay? So the fact that she is not married to his brother does not mean that she is not his sister-in-law. She is his sister-in-law, people. Common law relationships are recognized in Jamaica. She is the mother of his nephew, who is the son of his brother. And she held several positions on several boards that fell under the ministry. Let us not get too disingenuous here. No, here it is. Now we're talking about if talking about the Integrity Commission, and basically what he is actually doing, is exactly what the commission has said. He is being disingenuous, playing semantics. Don't play semantics with us. We're not stupid. Stop insulting our intelligence here, man. Addressing the issue during the interview on Power 106 on Wednesday, Jeanette Calder, Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, said that based on the latest report from the Integrity Commission, Wheatley should step down as Member of Parliament. Quote, in light of what the Auditor General had already shared then, I felt that it would have been appropriate for the former minister to do so, end quote. Certainly, with the details that have come forward now, I'm quoting her again, it removes any doubt in my mind that it would be the right thing to do for Jamaica. Calder said that if she had the chance to quiz the Prime Minister, her first question would be to him, Mr. Prime Minister, what does accountability look like to you? What does accountability look like to you? Yeah. So, the Prime Minister claimed, and this morning, listen to Power 106, the General Secretary, Dr. Horace Chang, was speaking with Sanjay Lewis, and he was claiming, everybody's claiming, no, guys, they have not read the report. The Prime Minister has not read the report. The General Secretary has not read the report. Nobody has read the report according to them, as yet they are reading the report. It's a big, voluminous, they say, report. So they have not gotten a chance to finish reading the report. But as you heard me just say just now, right? And as I said it before in the story, this is a situation that has been happening. It's not today or yesterday, no, guys. This has been 2 years in the making that this has been happening, right? So they had a previous report that was submitted to them. And the question is, so did they read that report or not? Because that report would have been the Auditor General's report, would have been similar to the Integrity Commission's report. So didn't you read it then? If you did not read this one now? So, and plus, you said you listen to the public. So if you listen to the public, you have been hearing the public's outcry. So you, sir, are also being disingenuous. So you see, guys, birds of a feather flock together, right? And what did I tell you? Yeah, birds of a feather flock together. Both of them, or all three of them here, are being disingenuous. Yeah? Don't insult our intelligence. Please stop it. It's high time. I'm telling you, the Jamaican people are wising up to you guys. We are wising up to you guys, and you're going to see, I'm telling you, you are going to see changes. Changes are going to happen in this country. People are going to rise up. They're going to revolt. They're going to speak out because they have said enough is enough, and there's so much one can take. I tell you, you have a cup of water. All it takes is a drip, tip, for it to happen, for the cup to run over. That's all it takes. Slippery slope, guys. Slippery slope. Yeah. All right, so guys, this is an ongoing story. As you know, it's an ongoing story because there's a lot more to this story. I haven't even touched on the other parts of this story, guys, where there is this. In the report, it is said that $6 million was given to Camperdown to build a mini stadium. I did mention it to you. I wouldn't go into details, too many details about it, right? Because here it is. Mr. Paulwell from the other side, right? He was the one who had solicited as a member of Parliament for his constituents in Kingston, right? Right, Camperdown is in Kingston, right? So yeah. He would have been the one to have solicited to Petrojam for the funds for his constituent, Camperdown High School, right? And here it is. We have heard that basically 1.7 million was spent towards what the money was intended for, while the balance, we don't know what happened to the balance. We hear the balance was in an interest-bearing account by his own admission, and then we hear that the money was spent on something that was not what the money was intended for. Guys, more to come. I'm telling you, more to come. Right. Then there's also this other $9 million this guys, what tangled web we weave when first we start to deceive. I tell you all the time, truth is the only thing that survives time. You understand? Truth excels in time. Time, I always say, time longer than rope. Time longer than rope. So don't worry about the microwave society that wants the lies. You understand? Lies flourish in the microwave. They hear it now, 9-day wonder. You say it and you tell a lie and it's over. Over time, truth prevails. So, and something that go, guys, I didn't say, and something that come, more to come. So let me give you this other stories so we can give you, woman without border. I have to give you some international news. So let me give you quickly what our local government minister, the Honorable Desmond McKenzie, who seems to be one of the good guys so far, innocent until proven guilty. Well, he says, let me give you this story. Yeah, so Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie says strict monitoring will be put in place along with possible prosecution for beaches and rivers due to the non-compliance with COVID-19 protocols. He was speaking in Parliament, of course. That's when he made the announcement. Okay. He says that little more than 30% of the facilities observed by the SDC is the one who were commissioned to observe, as I gave you that previous story in my library. And so he says the SDC will also be enhanced with additional personnel to ensure compliance. What I want to get to, so I'm going to fast forward. So the minister also says that government will be allowing a conditional 14-day reopening of cinemas, theatres and playhouses as of Sunday, July 5th. That's this Sunday coming, for 2 weeks. Right? You can go to the Carib Theatre or Palace Amusement Theatre, yeah? And playhouses, you can go and to Ward Theatre or wherever, or all the other playhouses that are out there. You can do all of that. You have 2 weeks to do that though, from the 5th of July until the 19th of July. These facilities, however, will not be allowed to operate above 60% capacity at any given time. Restaurants will also be allowed to open for dining in effective today, that is today, July 2nd, right? 3rd of July 2nd. So the restaurants are opened, but the minister says basically that the tables must be 6 feet apart, and he says that only 4 persons per table, guys. You're going to sit down and dine. If the party is like larger than 4, then you're going to have to sit at separate tables. Only 4 per table, and the tables have to be 6 feet apart. They cannot be joined together for you to have a bigger group. 4 persons per table, 6 feet apart. Bon appetit. Yeah, and of course I want to give you one more before I go international. One more quick one before I go international. So I must give you this one. So according to Minister of Education, Youth and Information, the Honorable Karl Samuda, yes, he was speaking, of course, in the House, also giving his presentation. He says that government will be providing a sanitization grant to assist early childhood institutions across the island. He also informed that the ministry is now carrying out an assessment to determine the number of early childhood institutions that have been closed due to COVID-19. He added that the ministry understands the negative impact COVID-19 has had on the sector, and the government will be doing all it can to ensure that early childhood institutions are prepared to reopen in September. Quote, "We know that with the physical distancing requirement for students to be seated 6 feet apart, these schools will face further challenges come September. As a government, we take this very seriously. We will continue to provide additional temporary trained teachers to ensure that at least one trained teacher is available in each early childhood institution." Okay. What time is it? Yeah, I'll stop there because I gotta get to my international news. Gotta give you my international news. So guys, this one out of the press. 95-year-old Everton Weekes. Okay, let me give the story as I got it. All right, so The West Indies Players Association, WIPA, and the International Cricket Council, ICC, have paid tribute to former Barbados and West Indies batsman Sir Everton Weekes. Weekes, who was celebrated in February as the oldest living West Indies cricketer, died in Barbados yesterday at 95 years of age, guys. Weekes made his Test debut in 1948 against England and played 48 Test matches over the years, aggregating 4,455 runs at an average of 58.61. According to the WIPA president and CEO, Waverly Hines, Weekes was a true legend of our cricketing family. No, a true legend of our cricketing family has passed. Its contribution to Barbados, to West Indies, and to the global game is immeasurable. We salute his legacy and offer our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and cricket fraternity. May his soul rest in peace and light perpetually shine upon him. And Omega Life says ditto to that. Yeah. And one more international news, guys. At least 123 people were killed today, I know they are ahead of us, in a landslide at a jade mine in northern Myanmar. The worst in a series of deadly accidents at such sites in recent years that critics blame on the government's failure to take action against unsafe conditions. The Minister of Information said 123 bodies were recovered from the landslide in Pakant, the center of the world's biggest and most lucrative jade mining industry. The most detailed estimate of Myanmar's jade industry said it generated about $31 billion in 2014. Pakant is a rough and remote area of Kachin State, 950 kilometers or 600 miles north of Myanmar's biggest city, Yangon. The jade miners were smothered by a wave of mud, said a statement from the Myanmar Fire Service Department, which coordinates rescues and other emergency services. The army also took part in the recovery operation, along with other government units and local volunteers. Yeah, and the story continues, of course, guys. You can go online or go on YouTube when you're finished with my program and just put in a search terms in Myanmar landslide, and the story will come up to get more details. Yeah, sincere condolences and prayers to all the families and loved ones who have lost someone in that mine. The jade mine, jade, the jewel jade. Yeah, that's what they mine there, jade. Yeah, and all the family and friends of Sir Everton Weekes, sincere condolences and prayers. Yeah, lots of death, guys. Yeah, but it's all a part of life. It's all a part of life. That's one of the things that are sure in life. Death is appointed unto man who wants to die. We all have to go at some point in time. We all do. Of course, some of us are wary in terms of how we are leery of how we're going to go. We don't want to go certain ways, right? But we all got to go at some point in time. So, yeah, sincere prayers. And of course, I should just tell you too that today is World Sports Journalism Day, guys. World Sports Journalism Day today. So a big shout out to all my my colleagues who are sports journalists. Yeah, including Ian Burnett, a big cool friend from way back in the day. Yeah, I should say childhood friend from way back in the day, Ian, and all the other sports journalists. Today is your day. Yeah, enjoy your day. Awesome. Yes, guys, so that is it for me. I have come to the end of the program today. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you do, let me see the thumbs up coming. Thank you for all my thumbs up. Thank you so much. Keep those thumbs up coming, guys. Yes, guys, remember, share this link with your friends and family that they too can become informed. Knowledge is nothing is kept to yourself. It must be shared. It must be applied, right? So share the link and go on my social media platforms Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where you can like, comment, and share also. Absolutely, guys. Thank you, guys. I am trying to reach my 1,000 subscribers, right? Because I understand that when I have 1,000 subscribers, I can actually do my broadcast from my phone, which is my goal, because it is very I have so much issues doing it otherwise. Whereas, on the phone, I can do it so easily and from anywhere in the world, right? I can do it on my phone. But I need 1,000 subscribers to do that. So help me, guys, to get the shares and the likes, right? Okay. Help me to get this broadcasted so a person can see, because it is informative, right? I've been getting a lot of compliments. Thank you for the compliments, by the way, on my WhatsApp. I've been a lot of compliments about how people are enjoying the program. To God be the glory, great things He has done. It was never my idea, guys, as you know, right? Due to COVID-19, the Lord laid it upon my heart to do it, and so I started doing it, and here we are, right? From March, the end of March until now, right? Okay, so I have been enjoying it. I've enjoyed doing it, and by God's grace, I'll continue to do it because I am a purveyor of the truth, right? People who know me well, they will tell you, yes, I hate lies. I hate lies, guys. I love the truth. I love the truth, and I take myself out of a situation. If I see I'm going to tell a lie, I take myself out of that situation so I don't have to lie. I don't want to have to, lie or continue lying. It's not good, guys. It is not good at all. And so, I want to make sure that I help, you guys, as I help myself too, to make sure that we are given information, accurate information from those who we elect, those who put in power to serve us. They are not the boss of us, guys. They act as though they are the boss of us. They're not the boss of us. They are representatives representing us. We elect them. We put them in office to help, to manage the affairs of the country, because all truths are parallel, and you always have to have a leader, right? Exactly. Everybody can't lead, right? And that's what we do. But we have to hold them accountable, right? That they are doing what they say that they will do on our behalf, and treat us with respect and with dignity, and protect our interests. You understand? Absolutely. And so that's what I'm here to do, guys. And so I thank you for your continued support. And I'm looking forward to, being with you again tomorrow, Friday at noon, God willing. So until then, as always, I say to you guys, when you go outside, ensure that you practice physical distancing, that you practice wearing your mask to protect your portal of entry and your portal of exit. And remember to always practice infection control measures by washing your hands and keeping your surfaces clean. Okay? If you break that link in that chain of infection, you cannot have an infection, guys. Absolutely. Okay? And so remember also to show love and compassion to your fellow men. You understand? Love your neighbor as yourself. That's what the good Lord wants of all of us, His creation, His children. Yeah? And so until I see you tomorrow, God willing, this is JJ, Woman Without Borders, saying, stay blessed and be a blessing. Love you. Bye. Thank you, Dar. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye, Saloni. Bye, everybody.